NERDSoul.
Yeah. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of On Screen. But I have a special guest that hasn't been on the. It's been a long time since you've been on the show.
It has.
This young lady may be known for high-flying, death-defying moves on, of course, WWE. She may also be known for having the Medal of Honor for her work in the Air Force. You might also know her from her work on such hit shows as Scandal, Designing Women. You might also know her from a show called Girlfriends.
What craziness are you talking right now?
No, I'm just playing. Raya is here on the show. What's up? Nice to see you. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you? You know, in this pandemic?
Yeah. Just just living for the city, yo. Just living for the city.
Man.
But it's good to have you on the show. It's been a long time to try to, figure out things that we're watching at the same time, watching together, whatever. And now we've got it. We have it.
Yes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Umbrella Academy.
Uh-huh.
Before we get into it, you know what? How about this? I want to know your initial thoughts after you finish this season. How you feeling about Umbrella Academy season 2?
I'm just as annoyed with it as I was in the first season. They leave way too many questions and they provide answers.
All right, I'll say this. At least it's better than season 1. I was not a fan of season 1 whatsoever. I thought it was extremely slow, and it was hard to get through. Really hard to get through. But season 2 was enjoying to watch. Now, with that said, yeah, they did leave us with some questions.
A ton of questions.
Oh, they
same
showed
as season 1. Leaving me with question after question after question.
So what's some of the stuff that you were like, you got left with?
The main thing that I am constantly left with in both seasons is the extent of some of these people's powers. And then they introduced a whole new character who has powers too, but she has all of them in one? Like, what?
Well, she's kind of able to mirror people's powers back to them. So her powers are her power is the power to kind of like mimic, but only one at a time. Which in a way...
But they never fully explain that. How do you get that? They like make that guess. Like, what is she mirroring us? And that's like the extent of what... Yeah,
because I am kind of making that guess from when they were like, are they mirroring us? And then I forgot, Sexy Trash said that.
Sexy Trash?
Well, he called himself Sexy Trash. So Sexy Trash, the cult leader, said that, she can only mirror one at a time. So, yeah, but the extent of their powers is kind of, we're not sure. They play kind of fast and loose with like, how many people can, Allison Rumor at a time? Or Luther, how strong is he? What can he lift? What can he do? How can he, how much pain can he withstand? Or,
her rumor power left questions too, because in season 1 they made it seem like she had to say, I heard a rumor first. But in season 2, after the first initial, I heard a rumor, then she was just like, more. But she didn't say, I heard a rumor before she said it. So it's like, is it...
Yeah, so it's like, is
continuous, as long as it's the same person, or, like you said, how many people at once, and...
Yeah, and like, how long does it last? Because even with this situation, like, and there's other weird stuff that I want to get into, but yes, I agree. Even with a situation like let's say for Ellen Page, who's Vanya, who is essentially just playing Ellen Page. She's just playing herself. But we don't know.
Right.
It's like, this is how she acts every day. But now,
right.
We don't know. Right. We kind of saw a lot of power, but we don't know how far it can go, really.
Right, like, what did she do to that little boy? And then she assumed she took it all, and then at the end it's like, oh, no, still telekinesis seeing things in this back seat. Like,
and then Diego.
Thing that's weird because her power is not even telekinesis. It's sound waves, because
she's able to manipulate like sound waves. So she goes to give him the CPR, and like a little bit of her essence, I guess, goes into his body. But then she takes it back, but it leaves some power behind that's not even related to her power, which I thought was interesting. But I was like, I guess they're figuring if you're on this ride, you just on this ride. Like Diego, I was like, oh snap, he could throw knives. Homie's like, like Bullseye or something. He has like super duper like aiming powers, right? But then it's like, no, he's able to bend things. So he technically has telekinesis, at least sort of, with the knives that he's throwing. And then you see him stop the bullets. So I'm like, oh, so it's really telekinesis?
Is it metal?
Yeah, is it metal? Is it telekinesis?
I think it's metal.
Yeah, is it a situation where he's like Magneto light, or or like what's going on? And not that I don't enjoy some of the stuff, but yeah, I do agree. I'm like, so what exactly can they do?
And then the entire time, 5 has them jumping. No one decides, hey, maybe we shouldn't do certain things because it'll affect the timeline. I mean, everyone knows about the butterfly effect. He talks about it in season 1. Yet they're running amok, and they expect to come back and just be normal. Like,
they did all kinds of timeline immaturity and disregard all through this joint. Like, like you think you'd be like, all right, cool, I'ma just kind of like hide out so I don't like talk to nobody, I don't insert myself in anything. And that's not exactly what goes on. Like, even for Allison, and I don't get me wrong, I understand, like, Allison, I mean, many jokes have been made before. When it comes to time travel, it's like anywhere before the 80s, it's kind of, black people are kind of like, I'm cool. Like, so I can see her kind of getting caught up and being like, well, I'm kind of here, so I don't really, I'm kind of caught in the middle of this, and it makes sense. But then when you have the creation of a whole cult, come on, man, come on, Klaus, like really, I could see if like maybe he wined and dined a few suitors or something, and I'd still be like, yo, those are relationships that they technically shouldn't be having, and you could be stopping them from marrying or being with someone that they're supposed to be with at this time, but I'll let that slide. But you created a brand new cult with like, I don't know, hundreds of followers.
His powers bother me too, because clearly he has more than he's, that they're showing, and he never fully realizes it, not even by accident like he did in the first season.
Yeah, you see in the beginning of this season, you see them like in that kind of post-apocalyptic fight where he is able to control a whole bunch of dead, a whole bunch of ghosts. But we still don't know like how far. Like, can you control dead animals too, or is it just dead people? Do they have to be location specific? Which is kind of how it seems when they're at the farm. But
see, he also doesn't talk to any dead people besides Ben. Like, he's legit just a normal drug person. Like, at least in season 1, he's taking the drugs and stuff to quiet, all that he can do. But in season 2, he's literally doing nothing but talking to Ben. Like, he's walking around, he's not seeing other dead people. Like, I think one other person helped him.
Well, I mean,
when he's
maybe
in trouble. But that's it. Like, he serves no purpose, honestly, in season 2. At all. And you still don't get to see the extent of what his power can do.
All right, let me look. All right, in season 2, if Klaus was gone, He does get Allison's husband out of jail. Was it what's his name? Ray? I think it was Ray.
Yeah, I think his name is Ray.
She gets him, Raymond Chestnut. He gets him out of jail, but outside of that, he did what? he started a cult and had tons of sex. That's what he did. That's all he did.
I think his whole purpose for season 2 was to introduce Ben a little bit more, and that's honestly the thing that pissed me off the most, because he would be my favorite character. And Ben he has such a
thank you. Ben is a dope character. And not the new Ben they're trying to give us at the end of season 2. That little like the K-pop boy band looking regular Ben.
E-boy looking guy.
Yeah, right. I want regular Ben. Good Ben.
That K-pop is racist as hell.
Oh man. When I saw his hair, I was like, he has to have the cool hair. I was like, it's the stupid cool hair. And I'm like, this isn't going to be a good Ben. It's going to be a whack Ben. And then once again, also jumping around to just random timelines. Who knows? All right. First, I guess we'll already have to kind of, agree with the fact that there's multiple timelines going on. But you think that the briefcase that they got from, the commission or whatever, would be the proper, timeline briefcase? I don't know, but I do have a plus. Like I said, with this, I have a plus. One, I like this season better than season 1. Season 1, I quit watching at episode 6 because I just got tired of it. This one, I watched all the way through and I enjoyed it. Also, I did like the usage of more powers and the introduction of Lila. I did. Because we got through Lila, I think we got a lot more of the handler and kind of where she's coming from and the things she's done. Only thing is, with that, we get a lot of commission baggage that it's a mixed bag. There was some stuff about the commission I thought was cool, like the not Pogo, the goldfish. You know, we get to see the beef. We get to see the beef with the goldfish, which is cool. And
they don't explain why they have beef, though.
Yeah, they it's just like they don't like each other. And I guess it's just because he has rank on her. But I did like to see some of the inner workings of the commission. I thought that was cool. I enjoyed seeing the infinite switchboard and all that. I thought that was fun. But on the frustration side, Vanya is in a relationship with Sissy. Sissy is boring. I'm sorry. She was boring. I would much rather have seen, maybe a more, charismatic lady. And I mean, I know she's supposed to be like, kind of like downtrodden because of her husband, and he was mean, and you have the issues of like emotional abuse, physical abuse around it. But when they were just alone by themselves, I was like, both of y'all can't be plain. All right? Ellen Page is already plain. Both of y'all can't be plain. Like, both of y'all, you got to give me something. I'd rather see maybe Harlan have some kind of abilities, and maybe Vanya dealing with him or helping him deal with those abilities without being able to really directly speak to her or something. I don't know. But Sissy was boring. She was boring. And I know Sissy needs love too. I understand. She was just boring. All right. She was boring. She was hard to watch. And she was boring.
That whole storyline for me was just hard to watch.
It's because I was sitting around like, why are we at the farm?
Growth, it's like she's constantly putting her worth on other people. So as much as she had personal growth, at the same time, she wasn't growing at all because she's just transferring everything to somebody else. And I want to say that whole storyline was to introduce the next villain, which that little boy grows up to be or something.
Maybe.
But other than that whole storyline just annoyed me in general.
Yeah, I wanna give some props. I really do. I want to give some props to Sissy, but it's tough because she's boring. And yeah, she does kind of put her worth in everyone else, which I guess when we meet her, she's been emotionally abused, probably physically abused for quite some time. So I know she's a torn down, downtrodden person, and she's just a woman trying to make it. She has her son has his episodes and stuff, and maybe she just feels like there's no light in sight, I guess. But it was tough watching those scenes.
Ways to deal with autistic kids like that. Yeah,
and then there was a long time when I was like, why are we at this farm? This is boring. Like, everybody else is doing things. And then when we got to the last episode, I was like, oh, so we can do this. I was like, that makes sense.
It was just long and unnecessary. This whole season, the whole series in general so far, is honestly a mixed bag of too much and entirely not enough.
I would agree. Like, even though I've enjoyed this season, as opposed to season 1, we didn't get enough of the goldfish man. We didn't get enough of him. Then when it comes to the handler, we got a lot of scenes with her, but we don't really still understand who she is and what she's about. The commission, we did learn more about the commission.
A little bit.
The three the 3 Swedish dudes, or they were Swedish, right? I think they were Swedish. But the Swedish dudes, they were just kind of there to be
entirely too much and not enough.
Yeah.
Entirely too much outer things that they added, and then not enough inner things that they haven't explained.
Yeah, and I know if you're here watching and you're like, yo, I love Umbrella Academy. This is the best show in the world. Trust me. It's not that I don't like the show. Like, I think they've turned it around in a lot of ways, which I'm going to explain right now. When it comes to their father, that's what I really enjoyed. And the name of the goldfish is Carmichael.
Too many questions.
But at least we saw something. Now we know he's like an alien or something. You know what I'm saying? So we know Mr. Hargreaves is an alien. You know what I'm saying? We know he ain't human because he had like a squid head or something.
It actually reminded me of the that movie with the water, where it's like a water god. And the girl's deaf or mute. She's mute, and she like falls in love with him. Something of water.
I know what you're talking about. That's the what's it? Dang, your boy. I'm trying to think of the director's name, and I can't think of it right now. He directed Blade 2.
Well, since I can't think of the name, the guy from Hellboy, who's like a fish guy.
Yeah,
I don't know his name either, but
yeah. Shape of Water. That's what it was.
The Shape of Water. Yeah, it reminds me. He looked like that to me from behind. He looked like he was one of them, and he's super intelligent and making up stuff, so it fits the bill. But again. They don't even explain how he died in the first one. Clearly not from old age.
No, because I don't think...
His dad's gone.
I mean, maybe, Sir Reginald Hargreaves can die from old age, but I'm assuming that whatever he is doesn't age the way we age.
Right. So the first season didn't add to it, and then the second season he's alive again in the past, but he's not human. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, so that means he's been wearing the kind of like the fake human suit for who knows how many years, and pretending to be a man for who knows how many years, and then also once again not showing us the action when he goes and kills the whole room, similar to when 5 killed the whole room. Like they cut away from a lot of that action, and I'm like,
that was a dope scene though.
Yeah. It was a cool scene,
They
but I'm
always
like,
talk
why are we
about how
cutting
he's
away?
such a great assassin. I couldn't figure out why, and now I know.
Yeah, and it's like, it's like, can we please see this? This is why this is on Netflix. If you want to cut away from the action, why isn't this show on like ABC or something? Like, I thought we were on Netflix so we could show these things. Like,
right.
But I know they probably want to. They're trying to hold stuff until season 3. But there's no guarantee that you're going to get a season 3. You know what I'm saying? There's no guarantee that you're going to be around for all that. You know what I'm saying? As you can hear, NERDSoul Light is feeling the same way. He like, look, when we going to see what he? And this would have been a great episode to figure out or to see what he is since we got all the stuff with Pogo, since we got all the flashbacks with their mom or the real lady that was their mom before they got the robot mom.
Right.
You know, this would have been a perfect time to show maybe at least one scene with him, I guess, unclothing himself or unskinning himself. And like, maybe if we even saw the way he, cared for his body outside, like maybe, like the way he bathed or the way maybe he has to shed skin. So we would have learned something, but we learned nothing.
Right. It wouldn't have given away too much, but it would have given us something.
Yeah. It was another one of those things where if you haven't read the comic and you haven't like read the books or whatever, you're sitting around like, all right, so this season was cool, but why do I still have more questions than answers? Because I'd have to agree with you. We didn't really answer much. What did we answer from this season? Like, what did we learn? All right, in this season we learned, okay, you can't mess with time. We kind of already knew that. All right, in this season we learned that, I don't know, Ben. We know that Ben. We learned that Ben stayed because he wanted to stay, not because Klaus messed up. We learned that.
Right.
We learned
that Vanya has some type of growth.
Yeah, Vanya has grown. She's not going to be the doomsday thing anymore. Because she's
not going to be a bomb anymore.
Yeah, she's not going to be a bomb anymore. We learned
the characters are supposed to have some type of growth each season at least, and the only one that I can tell has any real growth is Vanya.
I mean, I guess you could say Klaus learned that, he needs to kind of like let things be, like as far as trying to like fix time, because he did go back and try to save the dude, but he ended up going to the military anyway. So I guess he learned that lesson, but he never really said he learned that lesson. I'm kind of inferring that he learned that lesson.
You mean Diego?
No, not Diego. Klaus. Remember the guy that he went to the military with, and like the guy died, and he was in love with him.
Yeah.
And he tried
to convince him not to do it.
Yeah, but he went anyway. So I'm guessing what he learned was, kind of like leave time alone. No matter what you try to do, this person is destined to do this, I guess. Maybe. But I mean,
maybe. He doesn't really hint at that at all, though.
Yeah, I'm just inferring.
I would say 5 learned that he tries to bite off more than he can chew.
Yeah.
He finally, starts trying to rewind time within minutes instead of, decades.
Yeah. So he did learn that.
But that's really, honestly, the most they can say about the personal growth.
Yeah, because Handler didn't
Everybody
really change.
Else exactly the same.
Lila didn't. Well, I mean, we don't know if she changed or not because we don't really know her to know. Reginald didn't change because he's still. I mean, I guess he definitely made a very bold statement of "I'm not working with you guys anymore." So I guess, I guess we learned that he's not human. That's about it as far as like what we learned about the characters or what we learned about the show. Yeah, because then when we get back to the future, we find out that it's another future, or probably it might be technically the same future, but since they went and screwed around with things, the future is different.
It's ruined everything.
So now, because they've been part of the civil rights movement. They've worked for gangsters. Think about this: the bets that he made in the natural cycle of time would never have been made. So even making those bets gave him money that he wouldn't have had, allowing him to buy things that he wouldn't have bought, which completely changes everything.
Right. Because
now the people that he's buying from, they're getting money that they would have never had, and on and on. But anyway, I'm really trying to hold out a reason.
They need to get it together, because for someone like me who hasn't done the comic books or anything like that,
and me neither,
will lose interest in the show because of something like this.
Yeah, because I do feel like we chased our tail all of season 2, and for some simple stuff. Like when she was like, "You got 90 minutes to get out of here," and he was like, "All right, guys, hey, everybody, come to the alley." And there were like dumb reasons to not make it to the alley. Like there was no outside of Allison getting attacked by killers. Everyone else should have been able to get there,
and they didn't, because they're selfish too.
Well, yeah, definitely.
5 might be cold, but he's the only one that gets down to what needs to get done.
Yeah, because when it came to Vanya, she was like, I've got to bring. Why? I was like, what? Right. What is so important?
Even Allison was like, I understand you have to stay, and this is not my time. I gotta go.
Yeah, she was like,
she was willing to break her heart, but Vanya just couldn't. But that's because, again, she does her emotional transference, and she has her worth on other people.
Yeah.
She has this weird need to have to be loved and accepted, not realizing that they love her anyway. I mean, I see that she's starting to realize that, they're her family and that they love her. But it takes her 2 whole seasons, and she's just starting to understand it. And that's because they, took up arms with her for the people she, went back to get. Ridiculous is what it is.
Yeah, it's all in all, people. With that said, everyone,
not bad, just not great.
It's not bad. It's just not great. And because what turned me around on even watching this season was seeing the tweets like, "Oh, this show is the best show out. Oh, this show is so great." And I'm coming away with this similar to the way that I came away from The Boys season 1. I'm like, okay, I was definitely entertained. Like, it's entertaining, but the characters didn't grow. Like watching their escapades are entertaining, but at the same time, nothing really. It's weird. Things happen, but there's no long-term effects, at least. I mean, I could see if maybe they came back to the future and found out that the FBI had become this hardcore, powers, searching people or something because of what happened. It seems like stuff happens and they're just able to escape it, and there's no real, I don't know, maybe no real consequences to what they do.
I mean, obviously there is, because they're completely out of time now.
Well, yeah.
They're just people just out of time. They don't have their own timeline now.
So for me, well, I'll ask you this first. What do you want from a season 3 if you come back to watch it?
Honestly, I would watch it just to see what happens with Ben, because, again, he's my favorite character. But it's like, if you guys put the time right, if you put it back to how it's supposed to be, what does that mean for Ben? Is he going to be dead again, or are you going to try to find some way to keep him alive? And that's not even your Ben. So It's a mixed basket, honestly. I would want to see some real growth. I would want to see an explanation on their powers and what it means about the day that they were born, because obviously there's other kids and what
Yeah,
their
because I think they
dad
said there were
is.
43. I think they said there were 43 of them. Their
They
dad
said
got
that,
7 of them.
like, narration, though. They never said that to them. So
Oh,
they're
yeah, that's
thinking
true,
it's
yeah.
just them.
Yeah, they
That's
don't know.
why they were so shocked about what's-her-face.
So yeah, that's true. That's true. They'll have to get that information, I guess, in this new future that they're in. Maybe.
Who knows?
For me, what I want from a season 3 is we got to figure out what Reginald Hargreave is. Y'all need to just go in and let us know what he is. Like, what is he?
Right. What is Pop? Let them know.
Luther got to stop looking dumb in the face, yo. I'm sorry.
His character is pointless for me. Super strength is like the worst superpower in the world.
Is it?
It's the most boring, that's why.
I mean, is it the worst power?
It is. There's nothing, like, he can still get hurt. So he's not, like, invincible. He literally is just strong. That's it. He's just super strong. That's it. Like, at least with Vanya, because you can do so many things with sound waves. Like, she has so many different powers. She's lifting up whole lakes and stuff. But he's literally just strong.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, he has nothing else. Even Klaus, who can't control his power, and they haven't told us anything about what he can do. He can not only speak to the dead, he can control some of them. He can let Ben possess him. And then there was, in the end of first season, what did he do? Like, found some way to, like, bring him out so that he could even use his powers as a ghost or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, he helped fight whatever at the end of season 1. So even Klaus has, like, a better power, and he tries to drink himself stupid so that he can't deal with it. But Luther is literally just strong.
And he's like part
nothing but
he's
just
part,
strong. He's not
like,
super intelligent.
gorilla or something.
Right. Well, that's not even. He got hurt, and the only way to fix it was to have his gorilla DNA. That doesn't even add anything extra, but make him bulky. Like, it
that's true. It makes his back look dumb.
Right. And his chest is all hairy and stuff. Like, it just makes him bulky because he wasn't bulky before. He was just super strong. But that's it. Like, his is the most boring, and he's supposed to be the leader, and he's like the dumbest. He's the most boring. Like, oh Lord, he's like the least liked by me, obviously.
We need to know exactly what he is. I figure he's an alien or some kind of creature.
Fish person.
But yeah. we need to know what Reginald Hargreaves is. Luther has got to stop looking dumb in the face. All right, like. I need you to just go to Allison and be like, look, I know we were raised in a weird way, but look, I don't know, I love you or I don't love you, whatever it is, just figure that out and just move on.
I like the joke that they cracked where they're like, well, you guys are brother and sister, and she's like, technically, and they're like, it's no technically about it. It makes me upset that a lot of the fans are like, this is a toxic relationship and blah, 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 blah. But I don't see it as toxic. They're not actually related. They were born on the same day at the same time, but they have completely different parents. Like,
yeah, they're not.
I don't understand how it's toxic. And they're
in any type of way.
Right, and they haven't done anything until this season. But even Kiss, because they were raised as brother and sister, but they're not. Like, what's toxic about it? If anything, they're doing the right thing. They're trying to keep away from each other because of how they were raised. But they're not. They're not brother and sister at all.
And I would rather them just figure out what y'all want to do, because just figure out what y'all want to do.
Dumb in the face makes him endearing to me, because, like I said, everything else about him is stupid and boring. But the fact that he's an idiot makes him funny, gives him some type of depth. So
yeah, it's like they were trying to give him some depth when he was talking to Ray and he was looking all sad. He had to start eating his own chocolates. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was like, you kind of feel bad for him, but yeah. And the next thing in season 3 that I think I want is I want Diego and I want Diego and Klaus to step up. I feel like they've been sidelined a lot, and I like to see them step up. Because I mean, we had, kind of like Allison had her storyline. Klaus sorta had a storyline, but it was more about like,
yeah, they gave it lit. Yeah.
Yeah, Diego kind of had a storyline for an episode. Because like it was like you had the episode sort of at the beginning where it's like he's in a mental institution, which number 5 left him in. But anyway, then
honestly, I think Diego and 5 were the main people. Like Diego, 5, and Vanya had the main storylines this entire season.
Well, yeah, you know what?
Yes,
I'll take
Allison
that back because Diego was tied in with Lila. Healthy. So yeah,
right, and because Lila was like one of the main reasons for this season, it was to introduce her. It was him, 5, and Vanya that had like the most screen time.
Yeah,
Allison did have a storyline, but hers was healthy, so it was like, just snippets here and there. You didn't actually have to get in deep with it. So.
And Vanya's storyline was
want
boring.
Some explanations.
But yeah.
I just want some explanations from season 3. Some explanations, and that's it.
One thing I'm hopeful about.
No more introduction from outside.
Yeah, one thing I'm hopeful about is an external, like a more external, I guess, enemy. Because the first 2 seasons, it feels like they were kind of fighting themselves. Not like physically fighting, but it's like they couldn't get along. They couldn't get on the same page. I'm hoping that season 3, they'll be on the same page and be able to move as a unit. Because, the silly stuff like not even be able to get in the same place at the same time is kind of annoying when like the stakes. I think
it humanizes them though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it just you
Too
know what?
Much, though.
This is similar to the reason I stopped watching the first season. In the first season, number 5 comes back. He's like, "Hey, the world's going to end in like 2 days or whatever it was, 2, 5, 10 days, whatever it is." And I was in episode 6, and I'm like, I don't feel any sense of urgency from anyone. Like they do know the world's going to end. Like I feel like they're not worried at all about what's about to happen, and I'm watching these people just kind of like live their lives, like dance around the mansion and stuff. And I was like, you guys have things to do.
Right.
And in this one, it seemed like 5 was trying to do things, but everybody else was like, we'll make it happen when it happens.
5 seems to be the only one with a sense of urgency. But like I said, he's colder. He's more, And
he's seen more. He's definitely seen more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it. If I was gonna, I guess right now I can go in and nitpick one thing that kind of bothered me. Allison's
you know what?
wig.
I saw a flaw, and I'm not sure if it's a real flaw or if I'm tripping though.
All right, what's up?
In the writing, 5 tells himself the reason he gets stuck in his, kid body is because he got the calculations wrong. Like he's explaining all this to himself before he kicks him through the portal, but he's the one who made the jump. He made the portal for that jump. He was like, you have to do it, otherwise I don't exist. So he's like, well, how did you do it? So he made the portal. Wouldn't he make the calculations correct? How come he's still in his kid form?
Maybe because he wanted to remain a kid and like...
He's complained about it the entire time.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe he was complaining about it, but he's like, you know what? I kind of like being a kid. And like, just hasn't told anybody. Because I was wondering about that. I was like, I think he lied to her. I think he actually likes being a kid, but I just left it alone. But that's what I think. I think he actually likes being a kid, but never said it to anyone. And that's what we have now.
Right.
Like, that's the only thing I think of. But Allison's wigs this season. All right. Now, they're not Tyler Perry level bad. But they weren't good.
Actually didn't have any problem with her hair this season. It was better than the mess that she had the first season. whatever blonde craziness that she decided.
Oh,
They decided.
I forgot
At
she
least this
had
one fit the era.
It was like really, really curly and just like 18 pounds of hair on her head.
Right, and it was all grown out. So only the half behind her ears, like from her ears down, were curly. The top half wasn't.
Yeah, it was you know what?
It was bad first season. This season wasn't as bad because it at least fit the era.
Yeah, you know what? I think I agree. I think the first season's hair was not my favorite. This one, I wasn't a fan, but it was just looking at pictures from season 1. It was just so much. It just did look like a lot of hair.
It didn't fit at all because she was supposed to be some type of celebrity in season 1. She should have had better hair.
Tough, man. It's tough in them streets. Well, with that said, guys, we have kicked it and talked about this show from end to end. We do like it to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? We just saying we got questions. We just out here asking questions.
We got many questions.
Yeah. Oh, with that said, are there any questions that you did not air out yet?
No, it's honestly just the storyline and their powers. Like, I just want to know about that.
Yeah, because
the questions they don't give us enough tidbits to where I'm like, oh, I gotta watch to find out. It's more of an annoyance. Like, I didn't find out anything, so now I just don't want to know type thing. Word.
Well, guys, that's it. So before we get out of here, holla at us. We'll holla at you down in the comments. Let's talk Umbrella Academy. I'm going to throw it to Raya. Where can they find you?
At AKA Raya on Instagram and Snapchat, or Meriah Hudson at Twitter.
Word up. And of course, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube is the hub. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, or you can hit that thumbs down. But if you do, I'm going to send Carmichael after you. All right. And he going to come with a whole goldfish brigade. All right. So podcast wherever you want to hear them at. Spotify music to get your thump on. And of course, from us to you, we're saying thanks for chilling and listening, and peace.